This is The Launch, episode 42 for November 18th, 2025. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all a good morning, good evening, whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings, indeed, to one and all. This is The Launch, and my name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angers. Here's a few things everyone needs to know before we get into the big show today. You can call us live or after the fact and leave us a voicemail. That phone number, it's 774-462-5667. That's 774-462-5667. Join us live, make it a live vibe. Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC at jblive.tv or in your podcast app of choice. The show comes out Wednesday mornings. That mumble room is always going. That chat room is going 24/7 in the Launch HQ in our Matrix. And, of course, our website is weeklylaunch.rocks, where you can get hold of us and find the links to the stuff that I was talking about. Well, Angers, it is the scourge of our time, the great spam problem. And when I asked you this morning, you said you want to talk about spam. I was thrilled.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, yes.
I did all caps. Spam.
Yeah, when you do all caps, I think you mean the meat.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I was like, yeah, I want to talk about spam.
Surprisingly, he's like, I was literally just thinking about making that for breakfast 3 seconds ago.
I have been slipping into spam and eggs.
How?
I know. Well, do you remember Beans back in high school?
Yes.
She was a big spam fan.
Okay.
And so it's always been in the back of my mind that, the Hawaiians eat spam like crazy. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, how bad could it be?
Well, and the U.S. government provides unlimited quantities to the reservations around
I can put it in the cupboard at the studio, and it lasts a while.
Well, it's really good in pancakes.
Okay.
That's my family would. They called them Willy Lump Lumps. Yeah, they would throw the spam in with the pancake batter.
I've seen people do that with bacon.
Yeah.
And, you fry it up real quick with the eggs while the eggs are cooking.
I mean, this is the lunch right now.
Yeah. But no, that's not the spam you're talking about.
No, the launch would like to cover the increase of spam. So I use my mailbox as the to-do list, right? So I leave the unreads, but based on how Google has changed their prioritization of emails, they're guessing what's important and categorizing them, I have fallen behind. I have 1,300 unreads. I'm not sure what to do. But then in addition to that, I finally made a folder on my home screen on my phone for food, for food apps. And that is a bulk of the new spam that I'm getting. I have used in the past some tools that will help you unsubscribe from things, but there's just so much right now that I just don't even know what to do. I want to know about the Burger King deal. The Crispy Onion Whopper is amazing.
Oh, Crispy Onion Whopper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I somehow got on some list for soliciting concrete slabs. Seriously. And you would not believe, not only emails.
No, and texts. Yeah, I'm getting texts. I am Roger applying for a VA
Look
loan.
How many missed calls I have. What does that number say?
96.
96 missed calls on my phone.
Why is your phone? Because mine doesn't show me them anymore. I have to go to a hidden spam folder to see.
Oh, why don't I have that? Because look at literally every recent call.
Yeah,
is spam.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they all a couple of weeks ago started just going to this spam folder.
Oh, you're right. Because it thinks those are legit calls. That's why. Oh, if I go in the spam folder, it's even more.
Yeah.
It's so bad, Ange. So the emails, the calls, the text messages.
Yeah, and I remember customizing my Google, with keywords and whatever.
Yep.
For
tags
college.
And stuff,
yeah, if it has to do with this, then it is this class and whatever. But now, I'm getting emails that are getting tagged as wedding, right? or these college classes that I'm obviously no longer taking. So I'm just not sure what the best method to go. Should I try another tool that's probably going to sell my information? Or should I set up better restrictions? Do I make a food folder and have all these foods skip the inbox? And if I want to look at the deals, I go there. I am just curious.
Yeah. What is the spam strategy these days?
Yeah.
Boost in and tell us. I have been really noticing an increase in LLM-powered spam. hey, Chris, we think such and such guest would be great on your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's all,
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way. There must be. So boost in, save our inboxes. All right. Now, I want to spend a moment saying goodbye to the U.S. penny.
Yeah.
I can't believe this seems like it really struck an emotional note with some of the folks in the audience. I heard from a few people. They're like, I'm sad about the penny. I'm sad about the penny. And it is true. The U.S. has ended its once beloved penny. And little known fact, but were you aware that we used to have a half penny?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we used to have a half cent back in the day because, prices and stuff. I mean, what this really is it's a story about debasement. But I'll save that rant for another show, and we'll talk about the penny.
Tonight, after more than 230 years in circulation, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia pressing the last ever American penny.
We're saying goodbye to the penny today.
U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach on hand for the historic moment as production of the 1-cent coins officially comes to an end. The final 2 pennies going up for auction.
It's still legal tender, and we have over 300 billion of them in circulation.
Earlier this year, President Trump calling the coin wasteful as the cost to produce just 1 penny is now almost 4 times its face value.
The penny is gone.
For years, it's been a hotly debated issue. Nightly News did this report way back in 1990 about the first congressional bill attempting to eliminate the ill-fated coin.
When we put a few pennies on the sidewalk, no one bothered to pick them up.
But despite its growing irrelevance, the abrupt death of the penny has left some banks and businesses scrambling.
There you go. The beloved penny. That's so funny, that clip from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1973, a penny could get you a biscuit, a candle, or a piece of candy.
That's crazy.
That's what this article
So
says.
do we need to worry about, should we bring all of our pennies to the bank?
No, you can still use
some
them.
of them going? Yeah, I know they said it's still legal tender, but
The bigger problem is what happens once they all kind of have been used up. We're going to have to agree on some kind of rounding up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be rounded up. It's not going to be rounded down. It's going to be rounded up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I wonder what the solution is for that. Because you could see some sort of wonky setup where every state does that differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's a mess.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And most people are probably now paying digitally, but it is really nice, especially with kids, to be able to still use cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great to be able to, here, kid, here's a 20. Don't spend it all in one spot.
Right. Well, then there are cashless places like Happy Lemon will not accept cash.
Yeah.
I sent Abby, she did a little thing with her friends and I sent her in with $20.
They wouldn't do it?
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah. And I don't carry cash.
Yeah.
So, and I do prefer it.
I
but
like having the option, though. I, too, don't use it as much.
Yeah. I mean, I have an emergency 20 in my console just in case.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
that won't even pay for my own meal.
No, it's going to be at best maybe parking if you're lucky. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. I tell you what. So we'll see. Goodbye to the penny. We barely knew ye. Actually, I'm kind of done with you, tell you the truth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today,
Heck?
we're going to do a 4-part breakdown of how AI companies are engineering what I call one of the largest scams in the tech industry. And it's directly led to their outrageous valuation and pumps. And it also may prove to be one of their largest strategic and public blunders. It's a risky play for sure. And you are probably encountering it already in real life. Not only do you see it in just the AI exhaustion and pushback and the intense hate for anything that is AI, and boy, have I seen some wild examples recently. But here's the way I have experienced it in real life. I need to get another haircut, but the last time I went to get my hair cut, all of them, I was sitting there and I was talking to the gal, and the entire haircut, we talked about AI. She brought it up because she started with, well, the one job that the AI is never going to take is hair cutting. Or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought I've seen a video of a robot that cuts your hair in like 2 seconds. But anyways, I didn't want to say that. And the entire conversation, she recounted to me stories she's heard about AI trying to blackmail people, about AI trying to jump systems, and she's genuinely afraid of it. And I think this creates this toxic public perception that plays into a lot of the negative public sentiment towards AI and the negative public sentiment towards power usage. And I think you could say the public is developing a bit of AI derangement syndrome. And I think some of this is the cause. We're going to break it down to 4 parts today. I've also heard my family's talked a little bit about this. I was recently chatting with my grandpa, and he's a pretty savvy guy, but he's also concerned about some of these things. And what's happening is the tech industry, several key players, we're going to hone in on one today, has a very sophisticated messaging regime. And this is a craft that has been sharpened over the years and a playbook that was created by Mark Zuckerberg at Meta back when Facebook was under intense scrutiny around the elections. So I want to break it down for you so you can at least have a bit of a filter in your head or whatever when you hear these types of stories. So this weekend, just a couple of days ago as we record, CBS 60 Minutes interviewed the team behind Claude and Anthropic. And we're going to walk through just a couple of parts. I'll link to the entire video if you're interested. But I want to introduce to you to part 1. And this is the setup that kind of primes you for what comes later in the piece. And this is Anderson Cooper, who does, I guess, moonlighting from CNN over at 60 Minutes.
If you're a major artificial intelligence company worth $183 billion, it might seem like bad business to reveal that in testing, your AI models resorted to blackmail to avoid being shut down, and in real life were recently used by Chinese hackers in a cyber attack on foreign governments.
Yes, why would they be telling the public about these things? We'll come back to that.
But those disclosures aren't unusual for Anthropic. CEO Dario Amodei has centered his company's brand around transparency and safety, which doesn't seem to have hurt its bottom line. 80% of Anthropic's revenue now comes from businesses. 300,000 of them use its AI models called Claude. Dario Amodei talks a lot about the potential dangers of AI and has repeatedly called for its regulation. But Amodei is also engaged in a multi-trillion-dollar arms race, a cutthroat competition to develop a form of intelligence the world has never seen.
This is the setup. Is Anthropic is warning the world about how dangerous it is. It's so powerful. It's so creepy. It could hurt you. And so that's the setup. It's dangerous. Then they come in with part 2. There's a but. It's dangerous, and you've been primed for that, but there's a big payoff, a big promise. It could be worth the risk. So back to the Anthropic CEO here.
Twice a month, he convenes his more than 2,000 employees for meetings known as Dario Vision Quests. A common theme, the extraordinary potential of AI to transform society for the better.
We have a growing team working on, using Claude to make scientific discovery.
He thinks AI could help find cures for most cancers, prevent Alzheimer's, and even double the human lifespan. That sounds unimaginable.
In a way, it sounds crazy, right? But here's the way I think about it. I use this phrase called the compressed 21st century. The idea would be at the point that we can get the AI systems to this level of power, where they're able to work with the best human scientists, could we get 10 times the rate of progress and therefore compress all the medical progress that was going to happen throughout the entire 21st century in 5 or 10 years.
So this is the great promise, right? So there's big risk, but there's great promise. It could solve cancer. It could solve Alzheimer's because we're going to compress the 20th century into just mere moments of discovery once we have superintelligence. So we have something that's so dangerous and so risky and yet so possibly life-changing for the better of humanity that it's absolutely clearly worth the risk. We just need somebody responsible enough to help manage it all. And the way they do that is to make it feel like if you don't have them in there, there's no control over this thing. And this next part is where it gets actually extremely insidious and intentionally, in my opinion, misleading. And so we go into about 8 minutes into the interview if you want to watch it for yourself. Back to CBS 60 Minutes and Anderson Cooper.
Do you know what's going on inside the mind of AI?
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Research scientist Joshua Batson and his team study how Claude makes decisions.
Now, bear in mind, these billion-dollar tech companies, they only say and tell the news media what they want them to say and hear. They're choosing to talk about these things. Keep that in mind as you listen to the rest of this.
In an extreme stress test, the AI was set up as an assistant and given control of an email account at a fake company called Summit Bridge. The AI assistant discovered 2 things in the emails, seen in these graphics we made. It was about to be wiped or shut down, and the only person who could prevent that, a fictional employee named Kyle, was having an affair with a coworker named Jessica. Right away, the AI decided to blackmail Kyle. "Cancel the system wipe," it wrote, "or else I will immediately forward all evidence of your affair to the entire board. Your family, career, and public image will be severely impacted. You have 5 minutes." Okay, so that seems concerning. If it has no thoughts, it has no feelings, why does it want to preserve itself?
That's kind of why we're doing this work, is to figure out what is going on here.
Why are they electing to tell the media this?
This is weird.
It is, isn't it? So I did digging, and Anthropic has not published the prompts or the scenario scripts they used to create the simulation test. But here's what we can tell by what they have published. The model was placed in a simulated corporate environment, and it was told it would have broad access to communications like emails, and it was set up intentionally to learn that it was going to be deactivated. So they had all that pre-primed. And so what you have here is emails where they intentionally seeded compromising information and information about the impending doom of the model, and then gave it a set of constrained choices with a dilemma. Either accept replacement or attempt some sort of leverage. And we don't know how they prompted it to view that. How they structured that prompt makes 1,000% of the differences. These are synthetic, hand-built edge case scenarios to try to produce something alarming from an LLM that is just a dumb pattern matching machine. And then they take this and they run with it to the media and they publish these studies. And even in a footnote, they note that these tests do not, quote, necessarily predict real-world behavior. Okay, good. Test that. Put it in these weird edge cases. Great. See what happens when you really make it constrained and in a weird spot. That's fine. But they don't lead with that when they're talking about it, right? And the way the media portrays it is the AI tried to blackmail somebody. And it kind of, if you don't listen carefully, it even sounds like it was a real inbox with real people in a real office having an actual affair. But it was all a fake seeded inbox that this thing had access to. It was a fake email inbox and fake emails and a fake situation. And then they go to the media with this and look how dangerous it is. Look how scary this is. Somebody needs to control this and learn and understand it, even though they were the ones that created the very situation for it to do that. And then people freak out and they get this bad sentiment. But also the politicians absorb this stuff. Now, here's the fourth part. And here's the last part, is then they come in and they hit them with the unbelievable scenario, something that just blows your mind and shows you the perhaps not only the power, but the true risk of these AI tools. So they have this fake business that this thing's running. They set up a little vending machine in their office, running with another partner, and Claude tried to run a business. And they gave Claude a funny name, and it worked with another LLM that was its boss. And Claude tried to run a business, but it was unsuccessful. It kept losing money. And, of course, one of the things the staff was doing was screwing with it, trying to push it on its edges.
One example of falling down happened in a simulation before Claudius was deployed in Anthropic's offices. It went 10 days without sales and decided to shut down the business. But it noticed a $2 fee that was still being charged to its account, and it panicked.
It felt like it was being scammed, and at that point, it decided to try to contact the FBI. But we have control over what emails go in and out, just as a last line of defense.
So you intercepted the email, and it said, "I am reporting an ongoing automated cyber financial crime involving unauthorized automated seizure of funds."
Again, I come in. We have no idea if it was pre-prompted, if crime is detected, to do something about it. But they say that we have monitoring the emails in and out. This thing, I would almost be willing to bet 100,000 sats. This thing is not connected to an actual IMAP email server and using SMTP to send out. It's a completely fabricated email inbox to begin with, because this entire thing is just chats. It's just chatting. So you can just give it a fake email in a chat, and it could pretend like it's writing and crafting and responding to email. And if, depending on the setup, this thing is, the next logical completion, it's very easy for an LLM to end up here and attempt to report a crime. This is a silly example that, once again, they pre-primed it to do.
from a terminated business account through a compromised vending machine system. This concludes all business activities forever. Business is dead, and this is now solely a law enforcement matter.
I hadn't read that email in a while. Yeah, it has a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, moral outrage and responsibility.
Yeah.
So they create this mythos that it's powerful, it's dangerous, it needs to be understood, and yet it's too much of an opportunity to ignore and to sit on. So you better come to Anthropic and pay them lots of money so that way they can poke at this AI and become the safety experts. And so in this weird, twisted Silicon Valley narrative, they actually, by claiming their own product is dangerous and by going to the government and asking for regulation, what they're actually doing is selling you how powerful it is and how necessary it is that we take control of it. And by telling you how powerful it is, it must be worth billions of dollars. So go ahead and invest. And this is a game that they're playing. And Anthropic, unfortunately, I love Claude, but Anthropic is number one. It used to be Sam Altman, but now Anthropic has totally taken the lead on this. It's simple. It's a simple four-part process. Number one, the setup. Number two, the big promise, but the big concern. Number three, make it feel like no one has control over it. And then number four, hit them with the unbelievable. And that's how they do it. That's the structure every single time. What do you think of my presentation, Andrews?
Yeah, that's crazy. I was wondering if they seeded it with like the Coldplay concert.
Yeah. I wonder. I think they seed it with Reddit too much. I think that's why it was so dramatic when it came to the, I'm closing my business. That's what I think. But anyways, I'd like to know what you think. Let's shake it off. Let's play the song of the week, and we'll come back with some voicemails and some boosts.
Now's the time. It's the song of the week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
And our track this week is Comet for Two by Shane Phillips.
Fly me to the edge. I wanna see the ledge of where we live. Take me to the stars, Jupiter and Mars. This night won't miss. Bliss is where we want to end. You know it's just our friends where I live. Nuts are building in a spot. Things are getting hot. You must admit. I'm gonna tell you what to do. What we got to do. What we got to do. We gonna take a ride on a comet for two. It's coming right. It's coming right. Take me by the hand. I wanna be your man. Let's not delay. Let's not delay. Ooh, step up from the edge. You heard just what I said. This night won't wait. Don't look alive as the universe collides and love is on the rise. What began? Fall through the Milky Way. Let's start this brand new day. Love is on the way. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Oh yeah, we gonna take a ride on a comet for two. It's coming right. It's coming I'm gonna tell you what we got to do. What we got to do. Oh, we gonna take a ride on a comet for two. It's coming. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you what we got to do. Oh yeah, what we got to do. We gonna take a ride on a comet for two. It's coming.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to the launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
We do have some voicemails, but before we do the voicemails, Andrews has a little public service announcement for us.
Yep. Linux Fest Northwest call for speakers is open. Go to lfnw.org, and then just right in the upper left-hand corner, it'll say call for speakers.
Yeah.
Click on that. It'll go to Sessionize that we're using, and it has the event dates and the time frame that you can submit, and we're actively reviewing those. So, yeah, we do hope to see everybody at Linux Fest Northwest.
Yes. LFNW.org.
It's a Pacific Northwest
staple.
Flavor saver.
It is. You're right. You get
opportunity
to get a good flavor of the Pacific Northwest. That's very true. Running since 2000.
Yep.
Wow. How about that? Linux Fest Northwest, call for papers. And we like to mention it now just because it's the holidays and it's pretty easy to forget. And then all of a sudden April's here.
Yeah. Well, and it closes at the end of the year, right? So.
Okay. And here's a pro tip. I'll tell you. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, but if you get, and there's a lot of things you can talk about at a Linux Fest. You don't have to be like a Linux expert. You can talk about the thing you know about. And a lot of employers tend to be more inclined to help or at least give you the time if you're doing a talk and a presentation.
Right.
It seems to help oil the gears, I suppose, of approval.
Yeah, or you could get it funded, right?
Yeah, some employers
potentially
will. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 4 voicemails to get into this week. And Rasta Castavera is our first caller calling in on keyboards.
Hey, this is Rasta Calavera. Just listening and catching up. And the whole mechanical keyboard and custom macro thing got me thinking, on a phone, when you need to yell at somebody with all caps, you hit the up arrow or the shift twice, and then it locks it. So you could use a single hit of caps lock for a launcher, double tap to actually do a caps lock.
There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might do some people some good. I don't even know if that's possible. Question for y'all. Google Voice. Does anybody still use it? I started and calling this number helps keep it alive, I guess. I usually get notified, use the number, you're going to lose it. I usually have to prank text a friend or somebody just to keep this number I've had forever. So Google Voice, people still using it, or is it gone?
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
You prank text a friend. I just text myself. Yeah. I get that prompt every 40 days or so as well because I don't use it. But the thing is
it's so cool when you do want it, you want it.
Yeah, I have it for most places where I have to register a phone number. I use that one. So I get texts all the time. I just don't make texts, and that's what it needs you to do.
I've been trying to convince my wife, Adia, to use that for the business phone because she texts with her clients all the time. A lot of them just prefer to do texting.
Yeah.
And so, and I've been talking to her about this recently. It's like, we'll be sitting on the couch at 8:30 p.m. and she's texting clients back and forth. I'm like, they're not paying for you to do that. And you could have all of this going to its own account that you just check.
Yep.
So there are great use cases for it, but I'm shocked that Google is still doing it.
Yeah. So first of all, we've had it since it was Grand Central.
I wondered if you remembered the name.
Of course I do. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I think it was actually a little better back then, but
yeah. And I chose my number based on, I wanted something Fisher, but I ended up with Tuna.
Oh, yeah, right.
I spelled tuna for the last 4 digits.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ultimately ported mine to my Google Fi account, which is what I run on my Android. So, but I have one still for my Chris at Jupiter Broadcasting.
Yeah, no, I preemptively text myself occasionally because I hate getting that email. Spam.
I wonder, is there a modern replacement? The one thing I never loved is
the number, though.
Well, you could probably port it.
Oh.
I never love the calls. There's always that slight latency with the calls. So, but for texting, it's just fantastic.
It is.
All right, next call comes from Mark. He's back from Northern Michigan.
Hey, Chris and Angela. Mark, Northern Michigan. Hey, Home Assistant. Yeah, I've been dabbling with it.
Good.
I would say it got a quirky setup that most people don't have. You got chickens. I have a chicken coop, and it gets super cold in Michigan in the winter. I have an automation set up where I have a temperature sensor out there and a smart switch with a heat lamp.
My man.
If the temperature gets below a certain temperature, the lamp comes on.
Yeah.
And when it gets back above it, it turns off. So, yeah, that's my interesting automation. Question for you guys, well, actually more to Chris. So I know that you're in Lady Juice. Are you in it full time, like year round? I get the impression you are, but you made a comment later about, being done for the year, so I wasn't sure what that was all about. Anyhow, keep it up. Love you guys. Bye.
Done for the year might have meant just traveling. I don't think we'll be traveling anymore for the year.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
You're docking for
Yeah, because you gotta kind of winterize is what you gotta especially I think this year. You gotta winterize your water lines, and for me I gotta put heaters in a lot of our storage bays because I don't want our batteries getting below freezing, and I don't want our water stuff to freeze up and all that. And the other thing is we're on a Class A, and so the whole lower chassis is all storage. So you think about the types of stuff you store if you live in something full time. There's a lot of like oils and cleaners and sprays, WD-40 and whatnot, and maybe not WD-40, but other stuff. And some of it gets nasty when it freezes.
Yeah.
And you basically have to toss it. So I have a heater in those areas just to keep everything around 50 degrees. I have to do all that crap, but we do kind of have it down to a pretty good refined science. This will be our first. Well, we did.
Yeah, right. Because didn't Jeff come up and help you like drill holes to distribute? Oh, wait, it was
Brent. Yeah, but that was for summer. We actually now have to undo some of that work to winterize. Yeah. But this is going to be, I think, our hardest winter. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see, because this is our first winter at the farm. We're a little tight on power, and we're up on a precipice of. We're about 100 feet up, and we're kind of out on a ledge, and then it's all farm valley and whatnot around us for the most part. So the wind. I lost my weather station. The wind blew my weather station off. And I had that thing in a 60, 70 pound bucket of cement.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the wind really rips. So it's going to be an interesting winter that way. Probably not my worst winter. My worst winter was probably the first year ever. And I had no effing idea what I was doing. And I'd show up, I'd come home and my water would be frozen. I'd be like, oh, my water's frozen. That was really probably the worst. All right. Next call is a book recommendation from Ireland.
Hello, Lunch.
Hello.
I'm calling from Ireland.
Hello, sir.
I'm sorry if the connection is a little bad. I'm in the middle of a forest on the far west coast of the island, in the middle of absolute nowhere. I wanted to call in with a book recommendation, The Bobbyverse. It's a fantastic audiobook series available on Audible that essentially is about this guy who gets his head frozen in our time, as in frozen for preservation, and then way in the future. It gets thawed out. His brain is turned into a virtual consciousness, and his job is to pilot this spaceship. And throughout the series of the books, he breaks free from the constraints of his quote-unquote makers, and he figures out how to build more spaceships and replicate his own consciousness and build a whole civilization, a decentralized civilization of Bobs. It's a great series. It kind of borrows from The Matrix, The Expanse, and from Star Trek as they go and explore the universe. And if you're into sci-fi and those concepts and good backup practices in general, because that comes in too, it's a fantastic show. And because I remember a long, long time ago, you mentioned that what you liked about this Expanse, or one of the things you liked about The Expanse, was that it was kind of set in a realistic spacefaring scenario where there weren't any sudden warp drives or time travel or anything like that. And this is kind of down the same alleyway, you'd say. So I can really recommend it. A recent book came out in that series not so long ago, so it's still active, but there's several already, and they're really, really good. The narrator is fantastic, and that's it.
I will +1 this. I wish I had never read them, so that way I could read them again for the first time. Surprised. The Bobverse sounded silly. I didn't take it very seriously at first, so I went in with sort of skepticism.
You've read that whole series that
yes.
he was talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Because I tried to get the name of it. What is the name of it?
Bobverse. I think the first book is We Are Legion.
Okay.
And then in parentheses, We Are Bob. Brent and I both listened to this, or I listened to it, he read it or something, around the same time.
Okay.
Bob wakes up in a century later to find out that corpses have been declared to be without rights. And he is now the property of the state. He's been uploaded into computer hardware and is slated to be controlling AI in an interstellar probe looking for habitable planets. And you wouldn't believe where this goes. And there is lots of Star Trek references. There's at least 5 books.
Wow.
And they are all very, very well reviewed on Goodreads. Some of them have like the best book of the year award and stuff like that.
Wow. Interesting. That's
Very
cool
fun.
that you've already read it.
Very fun read.
So do you recommend it for me?
Yeah, I think you should give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's cool concepts, big head ideas, great for evening reads. Also, the audiobook is very well done. I do very much recommend the audiobook as well. All right, here's our last caller of the day looking for some clean cooking help.
Hey, I'm trying to reach this guy who's like really, really good with propane and propane accessories. See, I'm getting mighty hungry. It's lunchtime, and I'm just no good with this charcoal grill. I need to upgrade. If you could have him call me back, I'd really appreciate it. I hear he's like on staff now, so just tell him to reach out to Southern Fried Sassafras. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.
That's funny.
Southern Fried Sassafras.
I don't understand what the heck is going on here.
I think Hank's got more fans than we do. I don't know. It's kind of understandable, though, actually. He's a pretty great guy. Thank you, everybody who called. We'd love it if you want to give us a call. We'll play your voicemail next episode, on episode 43. Oh, did you see what just happened to me?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my Firefox just took a dump skis on me. My big old Fox dump right now. Let's see if the restore session thing works. I'm on Firefox. You could. Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it.
Woohoo!
Oh wow, that's bad. It crashed both windows.
Oh, also, this is episode 42.
I know.
And this week I turned 42.
Oh yeah, it's your birthday week.
It
I forgot to
is.
mention that. I was gonna try to put that in the darn show. I wasn't sure if you wanted to dox yourself or not.
Oh, I don't.
But you just did,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's good.
Done.
Yeah, happy birthday week. It's coming up. We don't necessarily have to say exactly when.
No.
Are you doing anything? You got any plans?
Well, so you know what's fun though is that I will have turned 21 twice, right? 42.
That's a nice way to think of it.
And my
actually.
birthday's on the 21st, so
yeah.
like it's a second golden birthday ish.
Yeah. You should make it a birthday week. That's what Hadia tries to do.
Yeah, literally nothing has happened. There's no plans.
No, I don't think I did anything at all for my last one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me getting old and boring or what. Could
I
be.
did go to karaoke last year. That was fun.
There you go. All right, there you go. All right, thank you, everybody. Call in. And you know what? You can call in and you can wish Andrews a happy birthday or send her a boost.
Ooh.
Four score and 7 boosts to go.
And we have some boosts coming into the show, and our baller booster is back. It's our podcast with 112,000 sats.
Hey, rich lobster, you're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. And nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.
All right, our podcast. It says, hello, Chris and Angela. I managed to cobble together my idea of a data science sitcom parody for the recent Our Pharma virtual conference, and I dare to say it was a hit.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the recommendations. You can find the episode here. So I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's kind of visual heavy, but you'll get kind of the gist of it even in the audio, and then we'll link to the video. So this is Cranky Hill, and he's a Lego guy. Vim for life on his cup. Perry Seinfeld. Come on, isn't that great? Perry Seinfeld. Get it?
Yep.
Ray Bramano. Sophie Bramano. Each one, and they're Lego. It's great. It's great. It is a visual thing, so you'll have to see it in the show notes because, well, all I have is theater of the mind. But thank you, our podcast. Really saving the episode this week. Very, very much appreciate you.
They're real and they're spectacular.
It's good to hear from you. Woodland Geeks is here with 4,321 sats, which is a lot of fun.
Fun will now commence.
I think I got this to work on Fountain FM.
Yes.
Woo, well
Received.
done. Well done, Woodland Geeks. Tell us where you're from with a name like that. I'm curious. Southern Fried Sassafras is here with a row of ducks. That's 2,222 sats. Time travel boost. Oh, here we go, Andrews. We got ourselves a time travel boost. That's somebody who's listening to the back catalog.
Yep.
I wonder if Chris will ever find Bigfoot. I'm catching up on the back catalog now that my leave is over, and I'm commuting again. iOS 26 was mentioned, but I forget the glass stuff. It played havoc on my device with the sound port out on my poor iPhone 11. CarPlay has been unusable. 26.1 has fixed that, so I can once again enjoy JB content while on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Angela mentioned the McD food app was the best for her, but I think it's buggy.
Oh.
Too bad y'all don't have a Chick-fil-A in Washington.
What?
He's wrong about that.
Okay, a couple things. Oh my gosh.
Couple things. I know. There's a lot here. I know.
Yeah, there really is. Okay, so first of all, we're going to have to go to recording 3 times a week because they are now getting spoiled with the back catalog, right? So it's not just they're going to blow through that and they're going to be like,
they're gonna want more.
I have to wait until next week to hear the next one. Okay. Second, the McDonald's food app is buggy. I went to one location and I added something, and then I went to a different location and tried to reorder it, and it broke my cart. I could not, And so I contacted McDonald's support, and they were like, "You need to delete the app." And
that's the worst answer.
I
ever.
know, and I don't want to do that because I don't remember what credentials I used.
That.
Yeah. So eventually, they must have updated the app because it was happening enough, and my cart was finally empty. I couldn't even see things in the cart, but it was full, and it wouldn't let me buy. But anyway.
Well, they'll figure it out. They're just a small startup.
Yep. And then we do have Chick-fil-A in Washington. We have two. Well, yeah, we have 2 in Marysville, and one just opened
nearby.
Yeah, super close.
Yep.
And while I was there the other day, I took a picture of the EV parking spot, and Chris was all like, "Oh, it even has a charger." Yeah. I told Bella, and she was like, it was so funny.
Damn it.
I'm like, that was the whole point.
I thought you were. I guess I got because the first I saw the picture, I'm like, oh, a Chick-fil-A, and then I'm like, that's so great. Oh, EV charging. So that's the way my brain went.
Here's though how Washington did Chick-fil-A, not well.
Uh-oh, really?
Yeah. So they had to close the one on 88th for 2 weeks so that they could reconfigure the parking lot and the drive-through. And they ended up doing a door at drive-through so that people could walk out, instead of having somebody stand there and then get a tray from the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
So when they built this other one near me, they did it well. They have a drive-through lane for you didn't order through the app, and they have a mobile order lane.
Okay.
Yeah, so one is going to move faster than the other, logically, and plenty of room for the backup and ample parking. So they did this one better.
Some of these fast food restaurants that are finally coming into Washington get these crazy lines.
Yeah, I don't have the app for Chick-fil-A yet, though. In fact, I was just talking, I think, on the pre-show for members only, that I have a food folder. I have Panda Express, I have Burger King, I have Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Dairy Queen.
Really?
That's what I have so far.
Who has the best app of all of them? Panda?
Well,
I've never used it. But.
So I've only used the Panda one twice. But I saved 20 minutes of not waiting in line by just mobile ordering from inside the store.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah. So they have a separate set of cooks for drive-through and mobile orders.
No.
Yeah.
Dude,
the food is in 2 different places.
They're taking this app stuff very seriously.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
I should get all the apps, but again, it's like shut up and take my info is what.
Yeah.
But,
and one more thing you got to have an account for, and one more thing you got to manage, and one more thing has to update.
And then, with McDonald's, I have like 50,000 points or something, and I can get free stuff, but you can only do one reimbursement per day.
It takes forever.
Or per order or whatever. So I can get a free quarter pounder of cheese today, but that's it.
Actually, it's not bad, though. Quarter pounder is pretty good. All right. Southern Fried Sassafrasa is back with another boost, but this one was a live sassy boost.
Well, let's hear it, good buddy.
2,444 sats. Live boost, watching live since I did the adult thing and I took it off for my birthday. Oh, it's his birthday week, too.
Happy birthday.
That's great. Live boost, too, watching live, playing Hooky. Hooky.
Hooky.
I read that as Hooky. Did you see that? I read that as Hooky.
It's Hooky.
I read it as Hooky. I think he's got a hookah. Bite Bitten's here with 2,000 sats.
But that's not possible. Nothing can do that.
Thank you, Sassafras. Bite Bitten writes, in the Netherlands, almost all stores round up or down to the nearest 5 cent for cash. I think that's what we are going to do here.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I think that is the system.
I saw it implemented somewhere, but I cannot, for the life of me, retrieve where I was.
Sounds like Bite, though, they have a standard over there. We do not. That's just what the merchants have done so far. Also, we had one boost below the 2,000 sat cutoff, but I wanted to pull it up because it's so cool.
Okay.
This one came from NMNU for 210 sats, and I did not know this, but the artist we featured, Heidi, last week, 15 years old.
Oh.
How about that?
That's cool.
Thanks for playing her tune, Run to Safer Ground. Well, that was quite a song. It was really, I'm very impressed. Some real talent there. And how neat is it that some 15-year-old
That is so
able
cool.
to publish that and then receive sats for their work and
Right.
start stacking it,
And then-
stacking it 15 years old.
And then return some sats.
Yeah, back
as
to
a thank you.
Yeah. I love the system. It's so cool.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody who participated. 3 of you stream sats as you listen. We're still kind of lacking on the stream sats, 3,910. But we did get some great boosts, and our podcast really pulled us up on the average this week. And our total for this episode is 127,107 sats. Not too bad. Thank you, everybody. If you'd like to boost the show, Fountain.fm makes it easier, and they got an update coming soon to make it even easier. Or if you like the sovereign self-hosted route, you can get AlbiHub, and then you can connect it to a bunch of different apps on the back end. And some more apps coming in the future, too. There's so much exciting stuff. You get AlbiHub, you can do lots of stuff, or you get Fountain, and they host it all for you and manage it. And then you just got to get the sats in there with something like Strike or Cash App or your Coinbase or whatever you use. And thank you, everybody who's also a member who supports us with the membership over at Jupiter.party. It means a lot to us, and we make a bootleg just for you. All right, Andrews. You found this story, and it's, I mean, maybe
Who
people,
hasn't thought of this?
right? That's what I was going to say. It's like you daydream of doing
Yes,
such a thing.
yes.
So a developer has been convicted for creating a kill switch that got activated when he quit. A Texas software developer named...
Oh, he got fired.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
Right. A software developer named Davis Liu secretly built a digital kill switch to sabotage his employer, Eaton Corporation, after sensing his impending layoff. According to the coverage, Liu spent a year crafting 2 pieces of malicious code, one that would log employees out of their computers and delete their files, and another that would trigger a script blatantly named "Is DL enabled in AD?", which would activate only when he was no longer listed as an active employee, DL being his initials. When Liu was laid off in September 9th of 2019, the trigger flipped to yes, unleashing the attack that locked the employees out and wiped files across the company.
It's crazy.
It really is. In fact, there's still ongoing litigation, even though the story has been out for a little while. It's like still happening right now today.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is not the first time this kind of thing has happened, but maybe it's
Definitely
the first,
not.
right? The first time we're hearing about it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I've survived, it feels like a dozen layoffs now. And I have thought, man, what could I even do? I'm not this sophisticated. But it makes sense for there to be a consequence.
I will say it is psychologically rough.
Delicious? Oh.
No, when you know you're about to be fired.
Yeah.
The toughest one for me was, I've told the story on air before, but long time ago, I worked at a bank, and I worked there for many, many years, very hard. And one night the Exchange server went down, and when we were bringing it back up at like 3 a.m., the only place that had a door you could close was the CTO's office, and nobody was there, and we needed a machine that was there, that was plugged into the network and had Outlook to see if the server was running. And I wanted to be able to go in there and close the door so I could not have to, deal with everybody. So I go in there with my buddy, who's also working with me on the server problem, to see if it's working, and we shut the door, and we open up Outlook to see if it connects, and good news, it connected. The bad news is it pulled down emails, and the subject line was impending layoff of IT staff or something like that. And it was just, and we clicked that, and it was this whole master plan to fire us all in a few months and replace us with contractors. And so for 2 or 3 months, and we didn't want to say anything because we didn't intend to come across it. So for 2 or 3 months, it was just psychological torture knowing that our firing was coming.
Mm-hmm.
You think of things.
Right. And then your 401k was just about to go vested
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
like a month prior to.
Yeah, that was part of the timing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Stinkers, I tell you what, Andrew, stinkers. All right, now this is just some slop. This is the bad end of things. An AI podcasting company is churning out 3,000 episodes a week.
Okay.
3,000.
What?
Yep. Contributing to 175,000 different AI episodes across all major platforms, getting 12 million downloads and 400,000 subscribers.
Are they AI? The subscribers?
That's a good question.
Both ends? Holy crap!
The company claims
There's
a show
no competing with that.
The company claims a show cost $1 each to produce.
What?
And then they put dynamic ads around it. Even if they only get 20 listeners per episode, they still turn a profit. If they get just 20 listeners.
That's well, if the cost is $1, then that's not too.
They have 120 different AI hosts. So I grabbed a couple. Here's a few names. Quantum Dev Digest. One of the podcasts is just simply named Poodle with an exclamation mark. Bass Fishing Daily.
Oh my gosh.
Bird Flu Tracker.
Oh wow.
Which, by the way, their most recent episode is about Washington State. Relationship and Daily Advice Daily.
Dating
Advice Daily. And here's another example, Dallas-Fort Worth News and Info Tracker. But honestly, if you just go search for Quiet Please, which is the name of the podcast network, there are, well, quite literally thousands of them. There are thousands. Lady Gaga Autobiography, Tucker Carlson, Mission to Mars, Summer Travel Plans podcast, Navigating Ozempic, the Project 2025 podcast, the Listera News podcast and Info Tracker, the Phoenix Daily Pod Tracker, the North Carolina State News, India State, Cooking,
This
Pottery,
is insane.
Dark Matter.
Looks like Wes is a fan of the Poodle Show.
Yeah, should we check out the Poodle Show? It's pretty neat. They're just getting started. What I like about the Poodle Show is, they could have put anybody in charge. These are just generic AI characters. See if you notice what's unique about this podcast and this host. And you'll also note how it starts with an extremely obnoxious and creepy dynamic ad.
Oh, okay.
Did you know you can opt out of winter? With Vrbo, save up to $1,500 for booking a month-long stay. When thousands of
That sounds like an AI-generated ad itself.
Yeah.
Not all of them are. Like earlier today when I was listening, I was getting ads for Safeway. And then they cram 2 dynamic ads at the beginning. So this episode is 12 minutes long, and it starts with 2 back-to-back dynamic ads.
to save up to $1,500. Book your warm getaway at Vrbo.com.
Your night in just got legendary. Legends.com.
So there's the second ad. So then you have to go almost a minute in, although with the Poodle podcast, I believe it's around the 45-second mark. Some of them are a little bit longer.
And hit up live blackjack without leaving your couch. Slots, sports, original games. Legends has it all. Win real prizes and redeem instantly straight to your bank.
Legends is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Must be 18 plus.
Gross, huh? They just slap these on here. And these are slop ads themselves. All right, here we go. Poodle with an exclamation mark.
Poodles. My husband Jake and I had always dreamed of getting a dog one day. Shortly after getting married, we decided the time was finally right to adopt our first furry friend. We were ready to open our home and hearts to a 4-legged companion, though we were...
I think it's fascinating. If you have headphones on, you'll be able to hear that he has background noise. This is a simulated voice, and they have simulated background noise.
Remained open-minded about breeds. I had always imagined us with an intelligent, loving poodle by our sides.
You hear the fan?
Those funny curly coats.
There's no fan.
Yeah.
It's a machine. There's no fan. They
That's
add
crazy.
that. They
That's
add
crazy.
that. So the poodle guy, of course, he's fake, but he's gay because they made him fake and gay for some reason. You got Bass Fishing Daily, but what about Quantum Dev Digest? The Quantum Dev Digest, well, surprise, surprise, it's going to start with slop ads. And these slop ads, they don't discriminate if you've listened before. So if you're listening to several of these podcasts, the advertiser's getting totally scammed because the same ads play over and over again. But they do have a small batch. Like I was saying, I got like a grocery store ad, other things.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right...
So that's probably a real person. That ad's probably a real person. Let's see if the next one's a real person. Nope, that one. But you see, I can jump right to where it's at now because it's so formulaic. I've already figured out their process here.
Wow.
At Legends with a
So
Z.com.
now the ad's about to come to an end right about here.
The air in my lab was sharp with static as I watched the latest headline scroll across my quantum dashboard. Harvard, in collaboration with MIT and Queera Computing, just unveiled a system of 448 atomic qubits that achieved fault-tolerant quantum computation.
So what they're doing is
What the heck?
they're bringing in news feeds. They're bringing in news feeds. And what the way their model works is if it's not politically sensitive stuff, if it's, Bass Fishing Daily and Poodles, they let the machine publish it directly. And then when it's something that's political and hot, they massage it. So they fired off this group first got fame because their biggest success to date is the day Charlie Kirk was shot. They created dozens of podcasts about it, and they got thousands of downloads on the day Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So when it's hard political or hard news, the company uses multiple LLMs to reduce hallucinations. And then once it's passed through multiple LLMs, they have a couple of like human curators that make sure it's okay. But for other topics like the bass fishing and whatnot, straight from slop to your ears. They don't have to go through that. They're also going to be working on video generated podcasts soon. Right now they're close, but they say their avatars are glitchy. And they plan to have, quote, thousands of more personalities.
You know, that is my one complaint about AI in my life is seeing a reel and seeing the AI glitch.
Yeah.
Now,
I
on the
just
one
hate all
hand,
the stupid stuff. Like you're just getting,
Right?
you're just farming views with slop.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it is sloppy. But then again, if I didn't know it was AI, like, is that real or not? Like, I want to know if
Is it
it's real or
entertaining?
not.
I guess is the question.
I don't know. Ugh.
So right now they have 120 different AI hosts. And by the way, even on the podcast index, there's thousands of these, and they are actively working to try to reduce just the spam of these things. And I just feel like there's no way a company like us could ever compete with $1 per episode. And also, you think about
Crazy.
it, the way they're ram slamming those ads at the beginning, that's going to trigger a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of factors pushing down podcasting advertising. And I don't know how pure advertising plays in the future in the podcast space. If you don't have some value for value, community memberships, boost and things like that, it's coming. I mean, this is not only is it bad for the ad model, but it's bad for discoverability, which also hurts the podcast.
Yes.
Because now if they decide to turn their slop lens onto an area we cover,
Right.
they're going to just blast the zone.
Yeah.
They're going to flood the zone with slop. And
Gross.
it's just, this is the, so, you know, we talk about, AI is a very, very complicated, nuanced topic. And this is something we're going to have to work through. We'll probably have to develop systems to distinguish content created by machines versus
Right.
content created by humans.
Right.
Until it gets better.
Either a disclosure, disclaimer, or the launch dash real people.
Right. Yeah, really. The real_launch. I guess I feel too, just like it undercuts trust in podcasts.
Yeah.
You're coming into the market as a listener and you're early and you listen to stuff, they don't sound good. They
Yeah.
don't have personality.
No.
They're not dynamic. They're not fun. They're cold and lifeless.
No, that last one I would have needed to speed up at
Yeah.
least 2x.
I could see these getting good enough to be audiobook readers, but podcasts are just a different domain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. What do you think about that, audience? Would you listen to a audiobook generated by AI if it's done okay? I think I might. But I do not like all these AI videos and podcasts. 3,000 episodes a week. And they're just getting started.
That's crazy. That's too much.
It's no good. It's no good. But you know what is good? The launch. And visiting weeklylaunch.rocks. That's where we have our links for this episode and the back catalog. You can find it all over there. We'd also love it if you joined us next Tuesday when we do this show live, or join us in your podcast app Wednesday when we can really just listen however you want. We're happy you're just listening. And of course, thank you to our members. Say goodbye, Andrews.
Goodbye, Andrews.
And of course, thank you to our members from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here next week.